So, Arsenal 3, Monaco 0. And this is a first. This idiot sent them both the same link. So we're doing it all in one rather than two separate ones. But we've got Jez, we've got Matty. Matty, we did the watch along together. We were, well, I was going to say ripping our hair out, but you ain't got any left. Jez ain't got any left. And I'm nearly there. I'm catching you up, lads. That was a masterclass in how not to finish one-on-ones in the first half. The only clinical player we have on the pitch is Bukayo Saka. The second half was a masterclass in how not to finish for Monaco, because they had a chance 5 minutes in that they should have put a bullet header in. Minamino should have scored, and then Bolo should have scored. That game genuinely could have ended 5-3. Again, this manager playing players out of position. He subs off Lewis Skelly when I thought he was doing well. He could have subbed Marino off and put Partey in midfield, and then put Timber at right back and kept Skelly on. Ethan comes on and looked like a Rolls Royce again. And Trossard, I mean, yeah, you can go as well, mate. I've had enough. Let me start with Jezza. What did you make of it, mate? Arsenal history and more. Make sure you sub to Jez. What did you make of that, mate? We won, but it is what it is.
It was a ball fest, mate. I won't lie. I was watching the game, obviously. A bit pissed off. I've had to subscribe to TNT Sport after the fact that Bing Sport now, to renew my subscription, you've got to pay by crypto.
Oh, wow.
So I got them off out of that. I thought that's a bit of a scam. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, I was basically watching the game, going downstairs, talking to the wife, coming back up because it was shit. And yeah, we win dirty. We won 3-0. We'll take it, I suppose. We move on. As we always say, we move on. But, mate, what is this guy doing? What is this manager doing? Seriously? We've still got one of the best left backs in the league sat on the bench, right? And he don't play him. So, again, I say to you, Kieran, tonight, get onto your agent and say, in January, I want out of here double quick. Lewis Skelly did a job, I won't deny. Fair play to the fella, right? Partey, right back, no need. What we're doing when our best midfielder is sitting there. Yes, he was getting into the midfield and he did make a difference. But my days, guys. Yeah, how can we not finish goals? That could have been 5-0 at halftime. But we haven't got a striker. We don't need a striker. Oh, but hello, Jesus, dear God Almighty, and Odegaard, what are you doing? What is Matty Lee? Why do we not have in our players anymore the ability to dink the keeper? Chip him. We used to have. We had them. We had them with the Aubameyang. We had them with Fabregas and all those players like back in the day. Why? Where's that gone then? Is that a technique that's not used anymore? It's embarrassing. That game should have been done at half time and we could have just said, right, thank you very much. See you later. No, we have to struggle on with this absolute arse-white manager. Arrogance again. Man, I'm done with him. I've been done with him for way too long. And we continue on down the same boring road.
Yeah, Matty, we did the watch along. We were just laughing all the way through it, really, weren't we?
I was watching you, Nola, and Matty.
Bless up, Jez. Southern Gooner as well. If I could squeeze both your links in the title, I will. If not, they'll be in the description. So make sure you sub to both. But, Matty, we was just sat there laughing, weren't we, at the piss poor finishing. Yeah, it was just embarrassing. Seeing Martinelli, just roadrunner. Gabriel Jesus has gone 1 goal in 32 games, and that was against Preston. That's about his level. And then Saka, I didn't think was amazing tonight. Yeah, didn't dribble past anyone really. Wasn't one of his better games in terms of, oh my God, he's getting us up the pitch, he's skipping past it. Everything came down the left side, ironically. But cometh the hour, cometh the man, and bang, he put the game to bed. Because if he hadn't have scored, the only good thing Jesus did, we probably would have lost the game. If he hadn't have scored the second goal on the 78th minute, we probably would have drew the game. Embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing. We got the win, but there's more questions than answers, Kenny Ken said.
I'll tell you one thing. I will give Saka his props. I'll say that he's slowly mastered the art of taking if he gets one good shot, he'll take it and score. I'll give him that. That's two on that, and that's it for Saka. I'm done talking about him. I want to talk about this manager going right back down that road that he was on against Fulham this past weekend. And every time he puts Thomas Partey at right back, it hinders this team. Every single time he does it, Lee and Jez. Because this team, we've sat right there all year. Timber was playing right back. That was not a problem. It's not a problem. Lee, remember I told you, I said you play Timber right back, you play Saliba right next to him, you play Gabriel, all is well. He turns around. He wants to move and he wants to bring these pieces that he bought in this year to force feed them into this team. Same way he did with Kai Havertz there last year. He's doing the same thing with Calafiore and Moreno. We could have took him off, like you said, moved Partey back in his regular position. Timber could have went over there. Left back Scaler was doing fine, and all is well. We having a good time. But instead, he always wants to try to show that he can get the best, or he can find a way to make a player play a position that they don't normally play all the time, or he's this philosopher of, just keep, we have a saying over here in the States. We call it the KISS method. It's called keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple, man. What's been working for you has been working. We were going on a hell of a run. We were ripping teams apart, and then he decided, no, that's not good enough. Let's go back to what I know. Against a Monaco team, by the way, who Balogun is out, they don't really have a main goal scoring threat. They brought on Minamino. We'll get to that in a little bit. But other than that, they've got some decent players, but they really was not anything that was like, oh, okay, well, we got to part the bus against this team. And then he comes out and he does that. And then then he's consistently. I knew we were in trouble when I saw Jesus in the middle. 1 in 32. 1 in 32. 50 million pounds we paid for him.
265 a week. 265 a week.
265 a week is what we're paying. And if that was any other player on this team that was getting paid that kind of money, people would have their hands thrown up in the air. That is absolutely ridiculous to be paying that young man that kind of money and for the output that we're getting. And Martinelli ain't no better. Both of them, freaking frack. That both of them. You're doomed when you got both of them on the pitch. Soccer has to work overtime to try to find a way to make something to happen. When it shouldn't even have to come to that. Trossard comes on today. He's picking up where he left off, not doing anything. This manager, this is why when I tell folks, I say the manager cannot get the player to the next level, then if he struggles with that, then he needs to go out and buy the best available player. And why he does not do that, I don't know. I can't answer it. I can't answer why he doesn't do that. But for me, if I knew that my weakness was getting a player to get to the next level of their career and I couldn't do it, I just go out and just buy the player that's already there where I need him to be. What concerns me about this game, gentlemen? There's one thing that concerns me about this game is when we get past this. I'm satisfied that we're moving on, that we've got a little bit of a bye, and we don't have to deal with a lot of this qualification stuff. I'm glad for that, considering the injury problems that we're having, and we've got this bloated fixtures coming up in here in about 2 weeks. We're gonna have fixture after fixture after fixture for a while. So I'm glad. But I want to say this: when we get to that next phase, and we get drawn with a team like Juventus, like tonight. These frailties of us not scoring are going to show up for it's like a root canal. That root canal, you can go get the medicine and it'll stop the pain for about 2 weeks, but it's coming back and it's coming back worse. And that's what's going to happen when we move on. We have been left short when it comes to the striker situation. We've got players, we're relying on players that just they're not consistent. Kai Havertz, yeah, he did a little on goal, whatever you want to call it tonight, but that's not consistent. He's not going to do that week in, week out. And people have got to come to the realization that this is where we are. I said it months ago. I said that, yeah, we're going to go on a run where we win 3, 4, 5 games. It's going to look great, but we're going to revert back to type because the team was never set up to be what we needed to be from the start. Where is Sterling? Sterling wasn't even on the bench the last 2 games. But this is a player that we went out this summer and we brought in. You hadn't seen the best of him, they said. We hadn't seen him at all. Where is he at? We're paying his wages.
Sat on the bench again tonight.
Yeah.
A young lad come on. Jez, let me come to you, yeah, because Jez, you've seen some top-notch forwards at this club, even before me and Matty's time. Yeah. They don't need 5 chances to score a goal back in the 70s and 80s.
No.
Yeah. Obviously, me and Matty, we more 90s and onwards, yeah? Right? What do you think the issue is with these players? Is it the lack of quality of the player? Is it the lack of composure of the player? Because, you know, these players are nicking top dollar, yeah? And I know, like, obviously money's invested in football and it's totally different to what it was when we were all growing up and that. But, like, why is it we always need 2, 3, 4, 5 chances to score a goal? If Thierry Henry, Bobby Perez, Freddie Ljungberg, Dennis Bergkamp tonight, even Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil tonight, yeah, Aubameyang and Lacazette tonight had them chances. Yeah, we're 5-0 up at half-time. In fact, let's be real with it. Let's just say they miss a couple. We're 3-0 up at half-time. We can then go, yo, job done, lads. Yeah, we'll bring Ethan on. Skedy can play the whole 90. Raheem, come on, mate. You can have a go. Why is it we can't be clinical when we're in on goal? And like Matty said, when we play against better teams, we're not going to get that many chances. Yeah, we're not going to get that against Bayern Munich. We're not getting that against Madrid, Barcelona, and so on and so forth. What do you put that down to? Is that just the lack of quality of the players now? Or is that just oh, well, I'm just going through the motions. I'm nicking my money. Who cares if I score?
It's lack of quality, man. It's lack of quality. It is pure lack of quality. I chatted about this on a show I did a couple of 3 weeks back now. I was talking about my journey with, you know, the players that I've seen over my life. You know, yes, football was different. We have to argue that argument, right? 70s football was a lot different to modern day football. It was slower paced, but the technicality ability compared to today is totally different. Totally different. Some of the great goal scorers I saw, like John Radford, people keep saying, oh, Jez, you've gone about John Radford. He was an absolute top class bloody striker.
Malcolm McDonald
at Arsenal, brilliant striker. Yeah, Charlie George. I could go on and on and on and on. But
even Alan Smith.
Alan Smith
was a good striker.
Yeah. But
we had Chris Chapman, yeah. Chris Chapman would have buried a couple of them tonight, wouldn't he? Is it Chris Chapman? Fucking what's his name?
Lee
Chapman. Fucking yeah. Lee Chapman. Yeah, he would have scored a couple of them tonight.
Yeah, it's quality, man. We don't have the quality, technicality. I said to you in my first start of this tonight, where has the ability gone? There was 3 clear occasions there tonight with a top level striker. I bring this one into the equation. Thierry Henry. How many times did you see Thierry Henry, Ian Wright, bring that one in? 1-on-1, dinks the keeper. The keeper's going down. He's going down, right? And if you've got a top flight bloody striker, chink him. Dink him. Liam Brady used to do it all the time. Bergkamp. Yes, Matt.
Ljungberg.
Kanu.
We can go on all night.
Theo Walker would have buried half of them chances tonight.
Yes. Oh, Theo had 3 goals tonight.
We have to
fucking stay on side.
These, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry to say it. They are not the top level that we need. And I don't care what any of the little arse swipes out there, the top gooners, whatever you want to call them, right? I'm going to make it out. They ain't the level. They're not the level.
Do you know what? I want to ask you both this as well, right? Because Ethan came on tonight. Our captain was anonymous again. Yeah. And I know he put a ball through to Martinelli. Yeah, Martinelli was offside anyway. Yeah, I know he missed, but he was offside anyway. Yeah, and obviously our captain was clean through. None of us expected him to score because we know he can't finish a wank. But again, he got subbed off. Yeah, and I read out at half. Somebody came in the chat at half time and said, "Oh, why are you being so negative? You're being over the top and reactionary." So I went on Twitter and read out some of the top Gooners' tweets. They were saying the same. Yeah, Odegaard's not been great. What's happened to Declan Rice? Yeah, why are we doing this? Why can't we finish this? Martinelli this, Martinelli that. The difference is with us three, and I want to ask you both this, yeah? We call this out because we can say, yo, yeah, it's a win. Fantastic. Yeah, we're all happy we won the game. Come on. I predicted a win. Yeah, I don't know what you did, Jez, but Matty predicted a draw.
2-0. I said 2-0.
I said 2-1. Ola predicted 2-2. Yeah, and listen, we didn't expect to lose. However, this, like Kenny said in this fan cam, this shows more questions than answers. Where do we go from here? Do you both, yeah, I'll start with you, Matty. Do you both actually think that this manager can take us back to the free-flowing form that we had after Qatar World Cup and before Qatar World Cup 2 years ago when we bottled the title? Or is this us going forward for the rest of the season? Because he looks lost at times.
He's going to do it again, but it won't last long. He's proven himself not to be consistent. We've seen this over the last 2 years. Whenever he's consistent, he reverts back to being inconsistent. He confuses himself. It didn't take a rocket scientist to know that lineup tonight was not conducive to what we needed. That he did it this past weekend. The lineup was not conducive to what we needed.
Nope.
I told you, just go back to the sport. Why would you go away from what you did at sport? That's a manager who's he's trying to figure out, well, I've got to play this person here because I've done this, or I got to play. No, stick with what's been working. He has a problem. You know what it is, Lee and Jazz? You know what it is? He doesn't trust himself.
Nope.
When a manager does that usually means they don't trust themselves. That's like this whole thing with us talking about Ethan, getting some play. He's got him there, but he's scared to put him out there because then he knows that once he's out there and that's been revealed that he's a better player or he's right now on better form than what Odegaard's on, now he's got a true dilemma because that's his captain that's out there. And so now I've got to try to figure out what I want to do. How am I going to handle this? And we know he don't like to handle conflict, especially when it's with a player that he absolutely loves. And Odegaard's like a son to him, so he doesn't want those problems. I just don't see how this manager's going to. Because even with everything going on, you look around and you see what City's struggling. We're still somewhat there in the, getting sorted out here in the league. Is still within a few points there, and you have to ask yourself, does this manager have what it takes? And just based off of what we've seen, I just don't know. I don't think he does it because he consistently second guesses himself when in critical situations. Now, like I said, tonight we won the game. That's great. But when it's time to play the Juventuses of the world, when it's time, Inter Milan a couple of months ago showed y'all about a month ago showed some folks Athletic when we had to go against AC Milan, when we got to go deal with Bayern Munich, Dortmund, who's going toe to toe with Barcelona tonight. Liverpool, if they have to deal with them in one of the rounds or whatever. So I mean, these are all questions that, like Kenny stated, you're left with more questions. Why don't we have a striker? Why don't we have a better attack? Anybody that watched that game tonight, we had several people that come through the chat tonight that wanted to come in and wanted to challenge why we were saying what we were saying. And I remember one of them challenged it, and within a few seconds, we saw exactly. Said, look at this. Look at that pass right there. Look at this. You had stepped away, Lee. Jazz probably saw it, but that was even a situation that Thomas Partey throwing the ball in, threw it directly to that player.
Oh yeah, went to the bathroom.
No,
directly.
First half.
Go on, Jez. Go on, Jez. You wrap up with your thoughts on this, but make sure you sub to Southern Gooner. Yeah, if I can get his link in the title with Arsenal history and more, I will. Most unlikely because of the length of the title with the characters. If not, it'll be in description for both. Make sure you sub to both of them. But go on, Jez. See us out.
Yeah, I mean, Matty, you summed that up perfectly, my friend, in the fact that Thomas Partey, right, first half, I think it was about 25 minutes in, he's got the ball, he's looking around, flicked it into midfield, straight to their midfielder. What's going on there? What is that about? Now, that to me is somebody who's saying, oh, fucking hell, what am I doing here? What am I doing?
It's only got 6 months left.
What am I doing? What am I doing? You know, and seriously,
There's no extradition treaty between Saudi and England, by the way.
To wrap this up, right, as you said, Lee, it's becoming very frustrating. Now, whilst I was watching that game tonight, a mate of mine rang me about a Christmas do in a couple of weeks' time up in London. And he said, "Are you watching the game, Jez?" I said, "Yeah, I am watching it, mate." And he went, "It's boring, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, it's shit, man." And he went, "This quote, I quote," he said, "This is worse than when we had George Graham 1-0 to the Arsenal. At least we played some entertaining football. Yes, we'd go 1-0 up and then we'd shut it down with one of the best defences you've ever seen in English football, Division 1. Fact. I know it's boring, but
we weren't in 91 though.
But we went out all fire, all guns, machine guns everywhere, machine gun posts. We'd take a team apart and then we'd shut them down and ball the shit out of them. Yes, not great football, but we scored goals. We scored goals, people. We had a striker. Yeah, we had strikers that could actually finish the game. We haven't got that. That tonight, I mean, that 1-on-1 from Odegaard in the first half, man, and he pots it 5 yards wide. Why didn't you have the ability, my friend? You went straight through that midfield. You nicked the ball. Why didn't you have the ability to dink, just stop it, drop your shoulder, dink? That's what strikers do. I'm not saying he is a striker, but a top flight footballer of any class would have the ability to do that. Anyway,
facts. Listen, Jez, always appreciate your time, man. Shout your channel out. What you got coming up? Arsenal history and more, obviously.
It's Arsenal history and more tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Kenny, Ken, Matty, and maybe whoever coming on. But we're gonna dissect this, and we're gonna look at what's coming up at Everton at the weekend. That'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting game. But Lee, as always, thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it, and see you soon.
Matty, Southern Guna, what you got coming up, bro? Shout your channel out. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, man, much love, much love. Hey, enjoyed doing this with Jezza. And we'll be, as Jez stated, I'll be with him tomorrow, and we'll be chatting it up about this tomorrow, and we'll be getting ready for this weekend against Everton, which after the game, I was fixing dinner, and I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I don't know if this game this weekend is going to be as easy as we think it is, because Sean Dyche is still on the other side, and we all know we all know he knows the recipe. So
yeah,
this could very well be a tricky game this weekend. So we shall see.
No, facts. Listen, we're going live. I'm going live. Rashid's going to join. I think Northside's going to join. We're going to talk about this more in depth. This has been great as well, doing 2 in 1. Make sure you sub to both the lads. Make sure you sub to me. Road to 108 is on. Nearly 107.5, literally about 30 away. Make sure you sub to Jezza. Make sure you sub to Matty. And yeah, me and Rashid are going live. Northside might join. But yeah, for now, we've got to do this all over again. Against Everton, and this time next week, these motherfuckers better beat Palace in that cup, mate. And on that bombshell, we're out. Cronky out.
All the way out.
You